at first it was like, ooh, that was kind of an early stoppage because Henderson got hit in the head, went down from it because he got hit in the weird spot, like the temple area where when a guy gets hit there, you're like, did he even get hit that hard? But just the sweet spot of the head.
Mm-hmm.
Henderson was starting to recover when the ref called the match, but then after the match, it came out that Dan Henderson had a weird cut on his eye from when Mousasi hit him in the eye.
With
that
his dick.
Had the match gone on any longer, he might have lost vision in his eye. Had Mousasi punched him even more.
Permanently lost?
Yeah, so the ref kind of saved his eyesight there. And
he owes him a blowjob.
Dan Henderson will live to fight again because the 44-year-old wants to fight again, even though he was tapped out really quick in his last fight against Daniel Cormier, and now he got knocked out really quick here. Age is starting to show, but the guy doesn't want to quit, so he's a legend. We'll let him fight, right?
I'm a legend.
Let me fight.
I'm not a nugget.
I'm not dirty. I'm not a nugget. And then Ryan Darth Bader won the Battle of the Best Nicknames as he defeated Phil Mr. Wonderful Davis via split decision.
Mr. Wonderful.
That's right.
Paul Orndorff.
In this case, Phil Davis.
Okay.
And it was boring. It was a boring match, which I thought it might be.
Let's stop talking about it then.
They have weird stories.
Let's talk about a real match.
We'll move on to hopefully a real match that will be happening soon. It's in the boxing realm. Pac-Man.
Paul Orndorff. Oh.
Hey, with his T-Rex arm.
Yeah.
The ever-shrinking arm of Paul Orndorff. If you guys don't know, Google Paul Orndorff arm, and I think it shows how like one arm is shrinking, basically, because of all the nerves in it are gone. Anyways, Pac-Man Manny Pacquiao is calling out Mayweather even more on Twitter now. He came out on Twitter and he started some trash talk. He's really trying to get this fight signed. He says the first one was, I can easily beat at Floyd Mayweather. I believe that. He's apparently part of the Shield. He believed that. And then he said, if you really care,
relevant.
He said to Mayweather, if you really cared about the fans, you will fight. If you care about yourself, you won't fight. Hashtag Manny Smile.
Manny Smile?
Yeah. And then finally the last tweet said, everyone had me as a big underdog to Oscar De La Hoya too. If Floyd Mayweather fights me boxing, we'll get an even bigger upset victory. So I guess for a Filipino, that's some biting trash talk right there.
Sure, why not?
Especially hashtag Manny Smile.
I'm going to throw lumpia at you.
Yeah.
It's Filipino taquitos.
Yeah. Hashtag Manny Smile. That's my favorite part. That's the only reason I brought this up.
Hashtag suck my lumpia.
That's right. MMA fighters getting arrested this weekend.
First coke?
First one was Dave Pee Wee Herman, another great nickname.
Uh-huh.
He got arrested after, I guess his lights went out on his car, is what the cop said. He didn't have any lights on, so they were trying to get him to pull over for three miles.
I can't pull over any further.
Right. For 3 miles, they tried to get him to pull over. What he said is that he had his hazards on because he was having car trouble, and he didn't want to get pulled over by the cops in the dark light because he didn't trust that they were real cops, which is weird.
Sounds relevant.
But or you've gone through some weird shit to think that cops with sirens behind you aren't real cops. So they finally make it three miles later to a gas station. And this is where the video starts. His wife starts taking video of this. It's Herman gets out of the car instead of staying in it, first off, which is a big problem.
Not good.
He gets out. The video shows, mind you, he's 6'4", 223 pounds. So the cops are probably shitting their pants when he gets out of that car. He puts his hands up. He's listening to him for a little bit, but then he's asking for 3 forms of ID, which... that's
weird.
When you go to get a certification in something, you need 3 forms of ID. I didn't know cops had to show you 3 forms of ID. I thought they just had to show you their badge. So he starts asking him for that. They aren't giving it to him. They're telling him to turn around and put his hands up because they don't know what he's capable of because he's this gigantic white dude who wouldn't pull over for 3 miles. So instead of doing what they say, he puts his hands down and starts walking towards them and says, I need to see your ID. And they tase him, of course, because they're afraid.
Don't tase me, bro.
The wife is showing this, so as soon as that happens, one of the cops comes over to the car and starts asking her for her identification and everything, but she starts asking him for theirs. And then, meanwhile, in the back of the truck is a baby in this cold weather sitting there with windows down, and the cops aren't letting her roll the windows up. So as her husband's getting tased, she's videotaping and all this, and she can't roll the windows up for her kid. So the big dilemma now was Pee Wee Herman in the wrong for getting out of his car and coming at the cops and just asking for ID and getting tased?
Pee Wee Herman.
That's his nickname is Pee-wee.
Oh.
Or are the cops in the wrong for tasing a guy who was just requesting something that technically they do have to show him their badges before?
Right. Well, he's obviously crazy.
But obviously, obviously he's crazy. He doesn't trust cops, and I don't understand why you would get out of your vehicle if you didn't want them to tase you in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So, Pee Wee Herman, we'll probably find out
more.
more.
You'll be missed.
We'll probably find out more about that soon. Also getting arrested this past weekend was BJ Penn. Apparently his friends tried to break up a fight between him and some other guy in a bar. BJ didn't like it, so he started beating up his friend. And his friend,
sounds normal.
His friend had called the cops, and BJ in the meanwhile started walking back to his hotel. They finally found him at the hotel and arrested him. So much for friends. That's all I can say there. It's kind of a weird thing. BJ Penn, I guess, retired from fighting, but has to get it on the streets.
Only from paid
I
fighting.
need the fighting.
Yes.
You know, when you are from Hawaii, there are a lot of fights there, is what I've heard. So
Aloha.
I think it's part of the culture. And BJ Penn's like, I'm Hawaiian, man.
Yep.
That's what I do. And then I'm sure the chat room is probably like, shut up, boy.
They're literally falling asleep. ZZZZZ was the last thing from Mandy in the chat room.
Thanks, Mandy. Yeah. And then finally, UFC 183 is this weekend. It's a doozy. Anderson Silva, the last time.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you, Hugh. The last time we saw Anderson Silva, he broke his leg in half, kicking Chris Weidman. Well, he's finally back over a year later. He's going to fight Nick Diaz, who hasn't fought in over a year because he didn't like the decision that happened in one of his fights. And so they'll be the main event. I think Anderson Silva gets an automatic title shot if he wins against Chris Weidman, since the last one was kind of a fluke.
I know we might be spending too much time talking about
Hugh,
this.
you were just on my side, man. What the fuck? Also,
This is magical.
Kelvin Gastelum fights Tyron Woodley. Al Iaquinta fights Joe Lozon. That should be a fun one. Joe Lozon always in a fun fight. Thiago Alves versus Jordan Meehan. And then Sarah McMahon and Misha Tate on the undercard. Some hot pussy.
That's the undercard?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
It's on the free portion on Fox Sports. So Midlife gets to see some hot twat fighting.
I like hot twat fighting.
And that is the fighting news.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
You can all wake up now.
Yeah. Real quick, let's just get straight to the break. I know those drops weren't helping. It made them just take longer. I'm sorry. Because we have Phil joining us as we come back. If he hasn't fallen asleep, waiting for us to call him up. Phil from alongtheboards.com. He's got hockey news for us, and maybe we can convince him to stick around and talk a little flat balls. We shall see. But in the meantime, get us at thecharitystrike.com, facebook.com/thecharitystrike. 805-419-3679. It's the number to call, sex, text. How about you send some titty pictures? We love titty pictures. Titties in our face. And at the Charity Strike, no E on the old twat box. We shall be right back, everybody. And this is the compelling story of how Awkward Apocalypse began. Hey, Jenny.
Hey, Greg.
What you doing?
I'm just drinking some wine.
Want to like make a show and stuff?
Okay.
We can talk about awkward things and boobs.
Well, I like boobs.
Me too. It's decided. And that is the compelling story of how the Awkward Apocalypse began. Do check us out on Facebook. Facebook.com/AwkwardApocalypse. At AwkwardPod on Twitter. And don't forget to call us 323-379-9225. The end. Are you ready to rock? I'm ready!
You're listening to The Charity Strike.
Oh, yeah, that is right. Welcome back in, everybody. Since Mike was talking about rap songs earlier, I should say. Everybody in the chat room getting tipsy.
Are they?
Yeah,
you
I
guys
can't
getting
fucking
tipsy?
talk. I can't fucking talk, goddammit. Screwed up my
Fucking
already
Monday.
not good joke. It's hard to do. Still Rebound, still Trigger Mike sitting over there. That's right. We are being joined by one that is much smarter than us.
On Monday, Mike Raw.
That's right. Mike is allowing Monday Mike Raw to be infiltrated by other people. But then again, he likes being infiltrated.
That's right.
So give us 2 seconds to play his music, and we'll bring in Phil.
Yeah, I want to drive the Zamboni
realized I said Phil probably the gayest way I could. But joining us on the Skype lines, Phil, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Excellent.
Pretty decent, I guess.
Decent at best. Well, happy late New Year. It's been a while.
Right, man. It's we're like 1/12 into the year already.
I know.
So weird.
I'm such a dick. I'm just glad to hear you can count.
Yeah, right. How about them Buckeyes?
It's national champs.
That's right.
Hey, I got a based in it. It's nice.
You got a what?
What's the word?
What'd you say you got? And that's
I got
nice.
I got a. What's the word I'm looking for here?
I don't know. Boner?
Bask in it. I got a basket.
There
Oh,
we go.
bask. There we go. Yes, bask in the glory. Because what else you got going on over there? The Mavs? No, not the Mavs. The Cavs? Nope, not really.
Cavs
it's
are
like
all right now.
it's like 2 degrees and windy every day
Woo!
and gray and yeah.
I got mad this weekend when it was only 45 out.
Yeah. You probably don't even own a snow shovel, do you?
I literally don't own a shovel.
I've had to shovel about a dozen times this year already.
I don't know what that means.
It sucks.
Why would you
don't want to know?
Why would you shovel to leave your house? That's crazy talk.
It's terrible.
I shovel the shit. Never mind. Anyways, let's talk hockey. People like hockey.
Yeah, man. The NHL All-Star Game was this weekend, and my favorite city, Columbus, was the host.
Cheap
and did a really good job. They had a ton of really cool stuff going on downtown. They had the Fan Fest at the convention center. It was a really great time for all the fans. They had a 35-foot tall snow slide set up on Nationwide Boulevard, a little outdoor rink build. It was a pretty sweet time.
35-foot snow slide? That sounds pretty cool, actually.
You betcha. Yeah. It was just disappointing how terrible the actual All-Star Game was.
Well, all All-Star games suck.
They're all pretty bad, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I mean, if no sport played an All-Star game, and at the end of the year, I agree that you need to honor the best players in the game some way, and you put them on an All-Star team or name them as All-Stars. And if we didn't have an All-Star game, everybody would be saying, "Oh, how cool would it be to have all these best players playing a game against each other?" Everybody would want it, but it's just so terrible because it doesn't mean anything. It's just for fun. It's just so we can see all these players on the ice at the same time. That's the only purpose of it. So
I guarantee Midlife is getting a boner right now. He preaches this all the time. All-Star games are so pointless and such a waste of time. All they do is play offense no matter what sport it is.
But Phil,
they are.
But Phil, how would I know who to vote for the Hall of Fame if I can't count how many All-Star games they've gone to?
Or no, yeah, I agree. Naming them All-Star. I agree with naming them All-Stars.
Yeah, well, isn't that what
It's
First
just a game.
Team and All Pro and all those other awards are for?
Right? Yeah, and
Or how about winning
I mean-
championships and getting high contracts and all that stuff? Doesn't that count?
yeah, I don't know if there's ever been a player that's gotten a great payday because he won All-Star Game MVP though.
Yeah.
Kobe did. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
the payday was there already.
So, I mean, yeah, I just think everybody complains about it. It's fun for the players. It's fun for the fans for about 5 minutes, and then it's like, okay, seriously, we're not playing defense. It's no touch hockey. But, if
Flag
you don't,
hockey.
it's not so bad if you don't try to make it something it's not. I mean, you just kind of have to realize what it is and realize that that's all it's ever going to be.
Boring as fuck.
Yeah. And, I think the NHL does a really good job compared to the other major sports as far as the entire experience around it. Because, NFL does theirs at the end of the year. So by that point, a lot of people aren't paying attention. I mean, nobody watches the Pro Bowl anymore.
No.
And the sports, basketball, baseball, hockey that do it in the middle of the season, I think have a little bit higher viewership. And they just do more, like NBA does a 3-point contest and the dunk challenge, and baseball has the home run derby, and hockey does the skills competitions the day before, which is really, really cool and fun to watch. But it's the game itself that they need to either do away with or figure a way to change. The leagues need to realize that it's an exhibition game. It's just for fun, and they need to make it or not try to make it an actual game. Try to make it something fun. I think it would be an awesome idea if instead of playing regular 5-on-5 hockey and trying to replicate an actual game of ice hockey, where obviously these guys aren't going to hit each other, they don't want to get hurt, do something crazy like draft them into teams of